Well, hello everyone. Welcome into Flying with Mike. Oh, we are back in Europe, folks. We are sitting in Liege, Belgium, getting set to fly FedEx 737. Yes, before I hear the naysayers, yes, they do have 737-800s, and I believe without the winglets. That is debatable, because I'm not 100% sure on that. But we are on the ground at TNT's main hub in Liege, Belgium. FedEx, last I heard, has the majority ownership, but ASL is involved somehow. Atlantic something, and so that's why all you see painted up on this plane. So let me just kind of swing around so you can see it. So so yeah, you've got TNT on the engine, FedEx and ASL back at the tail. So and you got I think that's a Belgium prefix on that tail. OO. So all right, so looks like a fairly decent day, folks. I mean, for what I've seen over the last couple of days here in Belgium, watching the weather, getting a feel for how things are going to be. We are getting ready to embark. It's a scheduled 2-hour run. We'll probably get it done in about an hour and 40. From here to Rome, Italy. Except we're not going to Leonardo da Vinci Airport. We are going to Rome Ciampino. Am I saying that right? In Italy. It's the other airport. It's the Midway of Chicago. It's the Mid-America of St. Louis. Love Field of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Get the gist? It's that other airport. So, but it's a pretty busy one at that. And we're getting ready to head off that way. So, you know what? I am going to put us up here in the office and let's pick up where I was at. And I was remiss. Let's put those ground stairs out. It's a hard jump to get up in the airplane there. All right, so as you can see, 737. One thing I will say, folks, PMDGers, take note. This is that quality, and it's free. That's all I'm going to say about it, folks. So, price of admission for the simulator plus free equals ZIBO. All right, so let's pull that away for now, and let's take a look at the flight, shall we? And for that, I love to use Sim Toolkit. You're going to find a little bit of a theme today, folks, because this is free. And it's a really good utility, not only for streamers like myself, but just the Joe Six-Pack pilot out there. It's got some great utilities for you to learn, improve, better yourself, as well as where the heck am I kind of deal on it. So, you kind of can't go wrong with stuff like that. Well, I guess you could. If you've watched Flying with Mike, you know I make it possible. But it helps you to improve. So check it out. Again, I say it's free, folks. So you know you don't have a lot to lose with it. And if you're a streamer, shame on you if you don't have it. Or what's the other one called? Volanta. Uh, I've got them both. Volanta's getting better. Granted, it's behind the curve of what Sim Toolkit was. It came out after. It's catching up. I don't know. I guess I'm navigating because I've always flown this with Sim Toolkit. So, and I'm guessing that's where my loyalty is, and that's where my eyeballs are saying, that's just not right that way. And yet it probably really is. So, but yeah, either one, folks, works great. All right, so as you can see, we are sitting on the ground here. You can see what we're contending with here. We have some ATC up in the area, But we also have, and this is, like I said, been the story of the week. Rain, 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 rain. April, we like to say rain, rain, go away, come again another day, because we know May flowers come along. But, for the flowers to keep blooming, I guess they got to keep having rain. So, all right, so there you go, folks. You can kind of get a little of the action going on here in Europe. Not a whole lot yet. The folks are just getting home from work, unwinding, and getting ready to sit down. So we'll probably see an increase in traffic as we fly. So let's get to this, shall we? Coming out of Liege, we got a wind, as you can see down at the bottom, 060 at 5. So 04 is a good runway for today. But they're variable from 010 to 120, so woo, we could have fun. Unlimited visibility, and the lowest, we got a smattering of clouds out there, and you can see producing some rain at 2,000 feet. So it's 16 brisk degrees here, and a QNH of 1017. That was Celsius, folks. It's not really brisk here. All right. Actually, it's in the C16. Okay, I got to get my cheat sheet. Sorry, folks. I don't know. Go ahead, laugh at me there, guys in Europe. No worries. Yeah, right around 60 degrees. So, I mean, to some, oh my gosh, that's so cold. Here's the parka. And others are like, man, it could get a little cooler. It's hot out here. All right, so, all right, now with ATIS, that's telling me something, and I'm just going to quick look. Where is LIRF? Ah, okay, so Italy has brought up their ATC as well, and that's why LIRA has an ATIS. You'll see the ATIS come on here, folks, when VATSIM puts an ATIS out. Not like, how I've shown you the website when you're in the U.S. and U.S. territories. You can go to and get the most latest, greatest ATIS. So that way not only the runway, but in a case like, say, here in Belgium, is the runway wet? That's a NOTAM usually. Now, whether Belgium authorities make it a NOTAM, that's where the fun of Europe comes in. Because here in Belgium, may have one set of rules and one transition level. Right up here in the Netherlands, may have a totally different transition level and what's required to be NOTAMed and what's not. So, I mean, granted, we try to work under the ICAO system, the International Civil Aviation Authority, or the Airline Traffic Authority, Transit, whatever it's called, ATA, IATA, and but differences do occur, especially transition levels, especially things, that we take for granted here in the United States. Where, heck, if you take off in Poughkeepsie, New York, and land in Grand Canyon, Arizona, transition level stays the same, folks, never changes. Or if you take off in Toronto and you land in Mexico City, still the same. So we take that for granted. Here in Europe, country boundary lines actually mean a lot, even in this day and age. So pay attention to those kinds of things. We're going to look at both the METAR. So we're seeing a 250 at 8. Okay, that's kind of leading me to believe we're going to land somewhere in the 25 range. And it's clear, visibility okay. We'll believe that when we get there, folks. And it's, again, bone-chilling 18 degrees, which I think is in the 70s. I was wrong, in the upper 60s. So, again, depending on what you think cold and hot is. Now, the ATIS here that VATSIM is putting out, so the runway in use for arrivals is 15. Okay. Departing 15. That's a 100-degree wind. Why are they not going? I wonder what's holding them up from launching to the north. This could change en route. So, because you can even see it saying it right here, winds. Something tells me the big airport, Rome, is operating with winds favoring to the south, or that's their general rule. All right, so the other thing we want to look for is, do we see anything? Because they'll put NOTAMs in here. Now, VATSIM may not, real world will. Pertinent NOTAMs like runway friction, and in US it's 555, you'll see. That can tell you it's wet. It'll probably even say wet. Or in the winter time, choose your winter precept. So transition level though, 7,000. There is something to key in on here, folks. And there's our, what we already saw. We'll see if that changes with Rome. They've been up for about 30 minutes now, so we'll kind of watch it. There's going to be more centers popping on and this and that to make things just so fun to fly in the friendly skies of VATSIM. All right, Brussels has been on for about 30 minutes as well. So, all right, so I don't think we'll see a ATIS come up for Liege. All right, so and I'm right now currently not online. So if you're looking for me at Liege, not there yet. All right, so let's get rid of Sim Toolkit. We'll come back to it here shortly. Actually, it may not be Sim Toolkit, it'll be NavGraph. We'll see how things work out. All right. Again, like with the MD-11, maybe my only bummer, I'm going to call it, not an outright complaint with the MD-11, because you got to pay for that one. It's just a bummer with it that we don't have pop-up windows. But I don't know what it takes to code that, so that's why I call it a bummer. But I do have it set up, like with the MD-11, to be able to work with the FMCs down here and the nav data and all of that. So, all right, so let's pick up where we were. We just got into plane. The plane's got the ground power hooked up. We're on the batteries. We just pop up top here so we can just go right through it. The batteries are on. Standby power is on. Obviously, we've got power on the plane. We're hooked up to the ground power. Power is available, and when you click down, it comes on. Then you just move the little AC/DC switch up. For those curious on the route today, since I was remiss, maybe? Oh, I don't think it loaded properly. Hang on a second. Let's try Sim Toolkit one more time, because I don't see where it joined. Okay, I didn't see it come on board that time. We'll try it. Every now and then it likes to do this to me, and if it does it a third time, I'm not going to worry about it. There it is. When you see STKP Twitch bot joined, you know what that means. It's now alive and well with it. All right. And we're connected. Cool. Now when I do this, you'll be able to see it. All right. So, and again, welcome to your... Oh, I forgot to... well, you know what? I can do it real quick here. Can I do it from here? Yes. All right, so there we go. Bear with me just a couple more, because folks, this is, as you can tell, a huge flight plan. welcome to, this is one thing about European flying. Where'd I go? Uh-oh. Okay, did it actually put it where it needed to go, or am I going to be stuck putting this in the airplane? Interesting times ahead here. Stay tuned. Gonna check that out real quick. Oh, it already, sweet, it put it right where it needed to be. So, awesome. All right, we're good there. All right, folks, so let's get going. We're running low on time here. All right, we're due out in about 20 minutes. All right, so we got the ground power on, and if Hawker 125 was here, he could enjoy his AC/DC music. You all saw the route. If not, scroll up. It's in the chat there real close here. And if you need it, hey, put something in the chat. I'll put it up for you again. Or simply text the exclamation mark and the word route. There. All right. And let's see. Try to catch myself up here. So I've been through all of these. All right, let's go up top side to the upper part of the panel. Test these guys real quick. Align. Want to make sure you see on DC. Then we'll get a line. Go to nav. Same thing here. On DC. Nope. Sorry, Hawker. Not AC/DC. And then to align. Then we put it to nav. Now, little trick here, folks. PMDGers, listen up. This may not be PMDG, but guess what? It is just like the real plane, from what I understand. So if you go up here to the IRS, and PMDG does model this, as would be expected, come up here to your display selector. You're going to take this outer knob and move it from POS to heading status, HDG/STS. What that's going to do when you put it into a line, tell you how many minutes you have till it gets aligned. So I got 7 minutes to get that position, or 7 minutes till the system's ready to align to whatever you got, or will have aligned. Let's trying to find the best words to use here. Checking out our systems real quick. Okay, passenger oxygen's normal. 3 green, that's always a good sign. Oxygen looks good. EECs show on behind the glass. Reversers not lit, that's a good thing. Service interphone off, and the dome light off as well. All right, coming down. So we need the probe heats off. We need the anti-ice right below them off for now. Get to that in a second. The electric pumps off. Wait a minute. Engine pumps on, electric pumps off. I got myself backwards there. All of your fuel pumps off. Trim air is on. And folks, this is not how a real checklist with this plane would work. Just putting that out there. There are flows you do, and you don't bounce all over the panel. That's how you miss things. So down is on. You want to make sure both your recirculating fans are on. Down, auto position. Your packs on. Isolation valve auto. Engine bleeds on. APU bleed off. Wonder why the APU is off right now. All right, so now we need to fuel, and then we'll get that continue on to our next set here. So let's get over here and start loading this plane up, shall we? Let the few things that need to be put in place behind us. And we'll go to the payload page, and we need to put in our payload. you know what? Let's pull it up one more time. So I don't think I went to that page. Let's go to the load sheet. Now, it's going to look a little wonky, a very usable aviation term, wonky. We don't have 144 people. The plane is geared more to passenger than cargo. So it's just using that weight to generate this plus the cargo. All right, so 33,520 is our payload. There's our zero fuel weight. This is what we're going to key on once we put that in. See if it gets close to that. If not, start adjusting. Okay, we're going to have 18,000, almost 19,000 pounds of fuel. We're going with the airline standard of 35 for the cost index. Now, it does say we're going to come down at ODINA at 29,000. I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. It's out there for us if we want it. But the cruise altitude will be 37,000. All right. Away with you, Sim Toolkit. Or I'll forget. All right, so again, we said... Hang on, I got to get my cheat sheet over here. There we go. 33,520. Okay, I clicked the 0 that was here prior, opens up that little calculator-like thing, and you type it in, it'll just fill the plane up to 33,520. If you're a passenger, it doesn't matter. You're going to have whatever it takes to reach that number, all males. Now, if you want to play with it and put so many males, so many females, so many kids, feel free. You're the pilot in command. Have fun. Down here, the cargo just balances it out. So what we're going to do, hit this arrow, 128,560. 299. You know what? That is really close enough for me. You know, if I back it off, you know what? Here's what we'll do. Make that, get the calculator, put 286, 4, oh, no, 42, screwing it up, 426. Let's go. Again, use this arrow. Don't hit that back because that'll take you back to the page prior to this. We're wanting to stay within the payload. 128,361. You see how easy it'll be to drop a 60. Real easy. 226. 301. Okay, we've gone this far, folks. Indulge me. I'm going to knock the 2 pounds off. And you can go this way as well. Either way will get you. This sometimes takes a little bit to add up, okay? You can go here. Boom. 128,299, 128,299. Fuel. Boom. Open up that calculator by just clicking the numbers. 18,947. Bear with me a second. Why is it saying that? Huh, I don't know why it's doing that, but I am going to, because it's going to annoy the you-know-what out of me that it's not putting the weather up there. There we go. That'll be better. All right. Sorry about that distraction. Okay, so we got our fuel. 18. It's not loading yet. 18,947 pounds. Folks, we have 8,100 pounds, so it's going to take a little bit. So we go to the fuel, click the fuel truck. And if you look outside, guess what? There's a fuel truck. We're ready to align. Okay. I knew we took too much time there, so stand by, folks. Let's see. What all do we have left here? Probe heats. Anti-ice, we already did those. Recirculators, engine bleeds. Okay, let's go back to the panel. Let's get our altitude set. And I will leave that for now. Seat belts. And cruise seat belts. Okay, now we can come back down here and get this really going. All right, so we got to enter our position. Okay, AirNac is valid April 20 through May 17. Coming up soon, folks. For those that update, we're in EBLG. I think that's good enough. Next page. Today is an even day. I use left for odd, right for even. Does it matter? Probably not. To LIRA. All right, so we need to put in here for the company route EBLG LIRA. All right. Real quick, we'll drop down, make sure it's good. Yep, looks good. Activate. Execute. All right, there you go. You're all aligned up now. Real quick, we're going to check our route because I want to make sure it's in there properly. Okay. So for this, let's bring charts in because it really does a good job here, folks. Our departure today is called the LNO-1R. Okay. So you can see the gist. It goes just like that. Then you head over to LNO and out, or I like to sometimes just cut the little curve off. It's about a mile at the most you save, but you know, that's just like a run and then a run. So, and those are also aviation terms, folks. So, got that all set up there. So what we do here, we'll come in, departure, arrival, go to departure. Now, Boeing, I'm not a fan of how they display this. It gets a little complicated to me. Airbus and the MD-11 for a lot of it, because again, a lot of the MD-11 is looks a lot like an Airbus. So that's why it's a little more readable in my book. Okay, for today's flight, we are scheduled for right. Select the runway first, folks. Then it's going to give you a list of what's available for that particular runway. This is a big thing in Europe, folks, where they tie the SIDs to specific. This is why that's this transition. If we were heading out to BUB or CIV, see they've got a BUB and a CIV SID. So you don't get a lot of transitions on your takeoffs. All right, and you can see it starting to form. Execute. Legs. Now, why you do this is two reasons. One, make sure dispatch put it in right, and the internal navigation computer didn't accidentally, because there is a direct in here, send you off in the wrong one. Not to say it ever happened. I've actually caught it a couple of times. But that's flight simming, not real world, folks. Sorry, don't do this for a living. Wish I did, but I don't. Okay, now, in X-plane, or Airbus, remember we had arrows over here? We don't have those in Boeing. So to go through the flight plan, we just step through it. And you can see it. So you see how we worked right around the logo to LNO is coming up. Wherever center is what's in the center of the screen. 13 right now. See how it centers? All right, so there's the end. We're at this point right here. Now we're going to begin walking down the flight plan. So just slow. Then we're going to be looking for GoPass, DIK, LIMCO, and SUTAL. GoPass, DIK, LIMCO, SUTAL. Next up is BEGAR and ODINA. BEGAR, ODINA, SRN, Robust, OSBUL. Everything's looking good and everything's showing up like it should on your screen up there.
Fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
Okay, good deal. Thanks for flying with Mike. All right, so NIKMA. Lost my place over here. Hang on. Really lost my place. Hang on. Let's go back. Okay, here's where we are. Really got lost. So we're down here. There's NIKMA. This page. There's NIKMA. Then we got IPGOR and GITOD. Okay. Now we're at what's called a discontinuity. Just doesn't say the word like Airbus does all the time. Sometimes you get it and a lot of times you don't. Click departure arrival because we're ready to put our arrival in. Now, you can lower it down here with these or go find the one you're planning, which for us is the GITOD to Fox. Then it's going to limit you to what's available for that particular star. Some stars line up with the RNAV, not the ILS, but you can kind of wiggle it to get it to work. All right. So let me pull up the star. Here's where we're coming in at 250. Then we'll drop to 421 here. Come over to 486. And I've gotten a little lost here. Oh, that's right. We're coming in 15. So 407 to Lockry. Okay. Now let's take a look over here real quick. So this is just, it's not specific to any specific approach or RNAV or ILS. Let's put it that way. Come down to here. I'm going to just select approaches and see what's available down here for runway 15. And it gets very complicated, as you can tell. So Lockry, we can use the Yankee. I think the Zulu is one of these. Yeah. VOR. Yeah, Zulu. All right, so we're going to go with the Yankee for now. And Lockry will be our transition for the ILS. If you don't remember, hang on. Hang on. Okay. Did I just put the VOR in? I sure did. Darn it. There we go. I was silly. Now you got two ways to come into this, folks. Straight in off the VOR or straight into... Why is this not looking right? Oh, there's Lockry. So I think we come into 407 and we're on the glide path. Or not on the localizer, sorry folks. But if we were coming from the south or any of these directions, we'd hit the VOR, do that little procedure turn right back in. For us, again, we come to 407. Sorry, folks, I just had a phone ringing, and I'm trying to figure out where is it. It's not my shoe, so it must be one of your shoes out there ringing, folks. And if you know the movie, chime in the chat. And Sook68, welcome aboard, sir. We're in the ZIBO today, just wrapping up, getting it ready. Maybe, he says cautiously. Always helps to get back to legs, get down to next page. All right, let's pick it up from NIKMA. GITOD RA21. Oh. You know, I don't think I put charts up there for you. My apologies, folks. So again, we're going to be coming in from GITOD down to RA421, Timber 406, 407. Let me step a couple here. Okay, and then from 407, we grab the localizer, and then we're headed for Lockery, and I think that may be where we intercept the glide slope. Real quick, the glide slope, I'm sorry, is just a mile ahead of it at distance 8.3. So I'm kind of glad you guys didn't have charts because it was covering this up. And there we go. Now, unlike Airbus, it does not load the alternate route, meaning if we get out to here, which it, whoop, back up. If we get to CMP here, folks, and the weather is just not improving, or it's not going to look like we're coming in, I can then go direct, first fix on my route. Now, you'd have to set up a secondary route here to do that and head on to my alternate, in this case, LIPE. Airbus makes it really simple. So you just direct to the next fix on your list of legs. Again, weigh your aircraft. Which ones, you know, are better than the other, who knows? So, but anyway, there you go. The flight plan is in. And where was I? Oh, there I am. So now we got to go back to legs. Come up here. We're going to move this back to map. And we're going to get ready to put in. We're going to first click copy. Then we're going to go to initialize or perf inish. Okay, fuel load for today, 18.9. A double check. There we go, 18.9. All right, now we'll get back down here and get to work with it. Let me make it so it's a little easier to see all of this. There we go. So 18.9 we'll put as planned, and there's our actual CFW. Just click here, 28.3, 28.3. Just round it up is all it is. I did not write that down. Stand by. For our reserve today is okay, 500 pounds for the 900 there. I got to get that $1 million calculator out from Walmart. 3.347.3. Okay, Cost index is at 3.5. And oddly enough, we're going 37,000. Okay, winds today are hardly blowing, to be totally honest with you. 19/9. Transition level out of here. LI out, yeah, is, I believe, 4,500 feet, but I like to verify it. 4,500 feet, okay. All right, so we're set to go here. Okay. N1. Let me do some quick putting together of this to get us our V speeds. Pulling up TopCat here, folks. All right, we are in weight balance. Say we 2290. All right, that's going to be. Then I. Perfect, that'll work. All right, and I'm not even going to worry about that up there. Our fuel load for today was 33. Oh, nope, that's payload. 18,947. Then taxi fuel's 500. Trip fuel that you have to get from SimBrief, 10,073 pounds. Okay, we're close on just about everything. Well, we'll go ahead and throw it in. EBLG to LIRA. Takeoff. Update. Okay, so we got our 020, which means runway 4 right is the appropriate runway with a headwind there. All right. So now we're at that point, folks, where we can work the FMC, which we can't see. See if I can't. That's going to be the best we do in manipulating. Should be okay. All right, so 1018 is our, everything's here is our weather. We're dry at the moment. Anti-ice we're not going to run with. We don't have any shortenings of runways, end or at the beginning or the end. No MELs. And if we did, we'd just click edit and we'd put them in there if we knew them. Okay? Compute. That's it. And then it comes up with your flap, your takeoff setting. So your takeoff here, your select temperature, which would go here. It's right down this side. And then what your V speeds are and what remains of the runway when you use it. Folks, we got a 12,000 foot runway with a 737. Yeah, unless we're really high up in the MSL territory, guess what? Not going to need a lot of runway. All right, so real quick, 36 looks good. We'll have 3,646 feet of runway. Now, notice what the N1 says right now. If I didn't touch a thing, we went takeoff, and what we're set at, it would be at 98%. We're going to pull that power back 10% roughly. So we're going to run takeoff power at 10% less than max, saving the wear and tear on the engine. That kind of shows it off really nicely. So let's hit TO2. Notice it dropped. And then we're going to put in the 36. Okay. Real close. Hang on a second. My wife is en route to work. I just want to make sure everything's fine. I really don't know how to spell that word, so hopefully she gets it. All right, folks, my apology for that minor delay. All right, so there you go. So we're set now, as it says here, flap. Well, we'll get the flaps in a second. But we've got the TO2, the select temperature, which is, again, a way of pulling the power back from maximum power available to save those engines, because folks, that's the bread and butter on that plane. If it ain't running, the people ain't getting where they want to go, and they cost a lot of money to get the people to where they need to go. All right, so let's go to the takeoff page. There's where we'll enter the flaps, but let's just put the CG in first. Go to page 2. I'm not one that skips this page. I want to factor in the wind. And I'm just taking the wind from there. Okay, runway slope and heading. Runway slope is here, and that's okay. Now I am gonna have to move it back. So hang on. We need EN. Okay, there we go. So, and then we need the heading. 043. Okay, and then there's our select. There's our outside air. That's the altitude at which we'll go into acceleration mode, which means we nose over from takeoff pitch to a climb pitch, and we start accelerating to 240, 250, whatever you want set. If we lose an engine, this is the acceleration height. So 1,000, we lose an engine, we should be good. Go back. All right, so again, flaps 1. Okay, again, our numbers showed 88.7. We're going 88.9, I think I saw, 0.8. So we're off by 1%, folks. That's not bad, considering Top Cat and PFP X, Professional Flight Planner X, was meant for FSX, not X-plane. A little tricky there, isn't it? So that's not bad, folks. It's also telling us, well, we gave it the trim, or the CG, so there's our trim from that. So it's saying 147 for V1, 148. Look at those numbers, folks. Pretty doggone close. 153. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that number, 149. Okay, and I'm going to go with 153, and then I'm going to turn the QRH off. There you go. FMC's planned, folks. All right, so continuing on, let's get rid of Top Cat. Let me see where we are in the checklist, because we are, as usual, late. Where are we? Okay, so we got the route in, the altimeters. Let's come back up top here. Well, we're just going to push out a little. Let's get our MCP set here. So runway, well, first off, we're going to go with 153. So let's 63 here. Some people use the rotate or I'm sorry, V2 speed +5. Some use +10, some +15. I do 10 because it's a simple arithmetic. It's just 10. Heading again, I think it's 040, but I like to check. 43. And since there's ATC in the area, let me bounce back up here. Look at my routing. Do I have a specific number? For now, we'll hover 5,000. And let's go ahead and get the APU as they're finishing up back there. All right, and then all you do is next click, make sure you have that arrow pointing down. Hold it for a count of 3, 2, 3. Now you'll see your EGT coming up. It'll get up into this area, then fall back to about 5 to 4, somewhere in there. And then once it does that, we'll get a blue light here, and that means we're able to turn on the APU generators. Then over here, the APU bleed. Lastly, come up to the top here. Go to APU, come up to the very top, go back to position, and look at that. It looks just like you're used to now. And folks, we are ready, just about ready to go. Little minute things to work on will be our baro. Or radar. We'll go $600. Now, real quick, let me show you something here. I set this to 1,000. It's set to 1,000. I can manipulate this to 100 or whatever. It'll change over here. Same with the altimeter, which is 18 now. So we're going to go with the baro for takeoff. All right, landing gear lever still down, 3 green. Spoilers are down, flaps are up. Pay attention to that, folks. Lately, mine's been loading up, and within about 2 to 3 minutes, they're at 10. I don't know what setting in there set that to start doing that, but takeoff horn checked. Fuel control in cutoff, brakes set, and like I said, flaps are up. Coming down here, let's make sure. Is everything so dim? Huh. Okay. Let me see what's going on in the world of SimWare. For the love, I cannot figure out why we are so dim down here all of a sudden. Okay. That's bright. I keep looking, that's... Don't know why it just seems so dim all of a sudden. Boy, one day I hope these get active. If they don't, that's great. Boy, would that be awesome. And folks, we're ready to go. Yaw dampers can now be turned on. Now, if you run into trouble when you're doing your flight control checks and your rudder's not moving, turn that off. It's being found in other add-ons where that's causing the same issue we have in all the sims. Doesn't matter which one you fly, the yaw damper just cuts the rudder out on the ground. And I know, well, you're not supposed to run the rudder on the ground. That's what nose-wheel steering's for, I'm hearing. Yeah, you can still override that. Cross-feed check. Light blue. Bright blue. Off. Cool. And we gotta get a fuel tank on. There we go. The left aft is the one that checklists will usually say to turn on because it's the easiest to get to if there's a problem. There's our plane again. And let's say we go fly. What do you think? Okay, I just noticed I'm running really long today. Sorry. Auto brake. Welcome aboard. Currently on a run from LAX to Bozeman into 76. That's a good airplane there. Okay, why is she so quiet? Hang on a second here, folks. All right, let's try that. All right, folks, I am going to get us off ground power. And okay, the light's off. We are ready to fire them up. Okay, pre-start. Okay, turn system B over here on for the electric. Fuel pumps on. We only have these. Oh, where are we? Anti-collision lights. Okay. Now, the difference here, folks, okay, Boeing makes it very difficult for us little private pilots because our anti-collision light switch is the strobes on the wingtips, and the beacon is the little red light on the plane. Not in a Boeing, folks. Anti-collision is the little red beacon, and the position strobe are the strobes. Yeah, leave it to Boeing. Make things, make things like that. I actually, people. I just saw the conversation here. The flight factor. I hear people saying there's a lot of troubles with. I don't run into them. The only time I ran into it was because that loose nut behind the flight yoke, me, didn't restart the sim as the update told you to, and I was all over the place with the plane. Once I did that, it worked fine. So, you wish they were all like Airbus. Yeah. Yeah, it would make things so much easier. ICAO. Anyway, I'm not going there because I'll upset somebody when he listens to this on the YouTube feed. So I'll be good. All right, let me take a look around the plane. We should only have the chocks. All the doors should be closed. And we're going to go ahead and crank them up. Now, cranking up the 737 is, for those new to the plane, you got to do a couple of things. First off, got to turn the packs off. So you get the pressure here. Now, this is not a requirement. As you saw, we fired up the APU just fine. Folks, I go ahead just to be safe. So your requirement is you got to turn the packs off, have the APU air on. Or if you're not, you got to turn on the external air so it builds the pressure up to what you need to crank up. All right, so let's do it. Okay, we got the packs off. You can see that over there. They're up. This can stay auto. That's a perfect place. We're just going to start number 2. I am going to... so that way we can see it a little better. When we hit 17% to anywhere between 17 and 25, take it to idle. When you get fuel flow, your EGT starts coming up and the engine has successfully lit off. I agree 100% with auto brake. Although, yes, I've been having troubles here of late, but mine was a speed versus being on glide path, all that good stuff, versus whether it was a Boeing or Airbus. It was me, the guy behind the loose nut behind that stick in that plane. All right, so we got the engine spooled up. I'm going to go ahead and kick that generator on. You don't have to. You can do that at the end, folks, when you're done firing up. I just do it because that's the way I heard it on the plane I was on once. All right, so let's crank up number uno. Y'all didn't think it'd be multilingual, did you? Because I really hope you're not, because that's the only thing I know. Isn't that a card game? But anyway, okay, there's 2425, boom. Fuel, EGT. All right, folks, we've got her fired up. Once we stabilize here with the needles, we'll then continue on. And by that I mean it's a very simple. We turn the hydraulics on. We get the AC/DC volt over to one of the engines, the probe heat on, and so forth. Okay. So, hydraulics, Gen 1, probe heat. We're not running with anti-ice, so let's get the packs on. Get the isolation valve on. And let's get the APU air off. Okay, and once we confirm we're on the engine generators, we're off the APU, it'll show blue when it's not engaged. Then turn it off. Otherwise, everything will go off in a pretty quick second. Okay, for taxi, we just need to set takeoff. 1 notch. I'm going to go ahead and set RTO. I'm going to keep the auto throttle off. I'm going to turn the flight directors on, reconfirm everything here. And we're ready to taxi out, folks. And I am going to start the co-pilot's clock. Let's get rid of the chocks. Brakes in, and let's set our trim. I'm gonna do quick flight check. Good. Folks, highly recommend this, especially real-world pilots. Any crashes have been attributed in the biz jets to be included in this, folks. Gust locks weren't removed. Those who fly know what gust locks do, and yeah, that's a bad day. Anytime you call the fire department out because you crashed on the end of the runway because you couldn't lift the nose up, it's a bad day. I thought I put that in auto. All right, now we go. Welcome aboard Flight 572, folks, for FedEx. We're taxiing out to runway 4 right. For immediate departure. Or so we think. So hope y'all are having a great day. Hey folks, it's Friday if you're not. So it's Friday. The weekend is upon us. Fly-by-wire is the Antichrist in aviation. To a lot of people, but as someone who deals with Cessnas and doesn't have an autopilot, take anything I can. Amen to that. I remember my days in the Cessnas and the Pipers. Oh, how much I wish I had an autopilot. Gust locks, yep. Yeah, it's possible. Like I say, wow, a DC-3. Well, I'm sure, I mean, boy, I hate to say this, back in the day, crashes were so much more numerous than today. Thank goodness. And thank goodness the aviation authorities take these accidents serious enough that change happens. Trying to stay in a hold with VOR alpha approach. Oh, yuck. Well, the good thing for me, I never flew IFR. I was VFR pilot, so. Sometimes, though, I'm sure the controller says, I think he's trying to think he's an IFR pilot. Keeps going around in circles. Oh, yeah. You know, I haven't really looked at the 787 that much, folks. So I don't know between the 350 and the 787. But definitely big differences between these guys. The 737 and the A320s. 67s and the A330s. 777s and so forth. So, alright, we're going to have some fun. We're going to back taxi. I was going to go on up to the other runway to back taxi, the little inch or two we have there. But you know what? We're just going to keep it simple. Time to use the famous pilot adage, KISS. No, folks, not the KISS group. Going to keep it simple, stupid.
Prepare for takeoff, please.
You like the cargo in here, folks? It's people. And no, it's not human trafficking. All right, takeoff checks. Boom. All right, engine starts to continues. Auto brake set, runway. Ooh. No, we're not going to use the displays. Okay. Position lights, ATC. Yeah, I don't feel like going down in that hole, folks. Okay, real quick. Beacons on. Where did I leave off with? Down here, turn this on. Heading bug, LNAV, VNAV. Display is taken. And for now, we'll keep the center pumps off till we get airborne. Clear for takeoff. I gotta give
Eight knots.
X-Plane this, man. They've got some serious sloping to their runways in some places.
E1. Rotate.
Oh, crud. You know what I forgot to do, folks? We're not aborting the takeoff to accomplish it.
Positive rate.
Get the 8 cars program running. So, we'll have to do another flight
400.
for them eventually. Alright, we'll just let her fly it out.
1,000.
Flaps up. Away we go. Yeah, me too. That and the, well, 2 aircraft I have. The ZIBO, the 767 I love to fly, as well as, and we're going to start seeing it again here. It's been a while since she's been up. The Queen, the 747-200 from Fearless. Alright, Roger. Cleared to flight level 370. Alright. Alright, did a quick check here. Well, since I've now updated to 05, version 05, whatever it is, really liking what I'm seeing. One of these days I'm gonna trek over to Anchorage. Not any hopes up of there being any flattening to the ramps or anything like that, but and then over to Sitka to see if that ramp is oh, cool. I'm looking forward to the 06 then, but I wish they would fix Anchorage and Sitka. I'm not online? Oh. Oops. Well, let me get out of here. I'm not going to come on his airspace now. He'll be upset. Let me get out of his airspace. Won't take long. Oops. Why am I still at 220? Is this that one that keeps you at 220 for God knows how long? It's been a while since I've flown here. It doesn't say anything about that. Why am I restricted here to 220? Alright, there we go. We got all those speed restrictions reduced. When we come out at 009 here, I think I'm going to go direct to help get us out of the airspace quicker so I can get online. me take a look at the clouds. I really haven't paid attention to them enough in 5 yet. First, let's do the after takeoff stuff. Make sure we got everything. Flaps are up. Engine starts to auto now. Lights off. And by the way, folks, if you're with ZIBO or anyone, how do you get it to show the 4 switches here instead of the 2 that many of mine have? I've always been curious. Which switch brings those all alive? Because I'd rather have that than some of it. Okay, we're good there. Or is that just one of those things that, well, that's the way the guy who made it is how it's going to be. Go to my tablet. To my tablet. At my tablet. Let me get some cabin lighting set here. Cruise. And those, I want back here. Config. Okay. General config. Hardware. Back. CFYC. Go back. Okay, displays, I know that one, this one. And I tried exterior, but nothing there comes up with it. I know it'd be inside. Landing lights? Oh, that would make sense. So it needs to be... I've already got the 4, so I'm happy with this one. I'll check it on the other ones and see if that'll switch it over. Okay, yeah, this one's the way I want it. So, by the way, for those curious, that's the version we're running. Alright, and the pulse needs to be probably... We'll check this against the other one. The one I fly with Southwest didn't come back. Yeah, but it's the way I want it in this one. It's when I fly like Southwest and a couple of others, it only has the 2 up there. Just these 2. And I prefer this setup here. So this is what I like. I just don't like when those retractables don't come in. Find out. We'll do it on another flight with the... oh my goodness, I got to change some VORs. Alright, so we're airborne, folks, through 20,000 feet. Let's get the wing lights off. See how it looks out the windows, come to think of it here. Oh my, clouds are definitely improved. Yep, looks like I missed my direct. Oh well. We'll do this and it'll be fine. Actually, I can do it now. Legs. Let's go here. Here. All right, get the center pumps on. Oh, sounds like our air show is up and flying now at the air base. Yeah, I've heard about the ortho and all. The way my system is right now, I kind of get a little nervous. Even though, as we saw, I think this shows it. Yeah, I'm just barely over 30 right now, so yeah, I don't want to add too much. So, and if I get much lower, then X-Pilot will be yelling at me when I'm online. You aren't at 20. You aren't at 20. You're at 20. Which is weird, because ZIBO, I usually do a lot. Must be all the clouds. Really? You have actually similar frame rates there on a break. Okay. Now, when I'm down with this airplane, I don't know. I'm just very nervous because, as you can see with ZIBO, I'm very close to that magical 20 that X-Pilot says you gotta have. And it will disconnect you if you don't, eventually. Or at least it does this guy. And Hawker, because I fly with him several times, and he every now and then gets it, and he frustrates him, so. Boy, look at those clouds. Let's see, what have I flown in this version? No, I still had those pyramids. Did I have it with the Airbus? I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look. Alright, so it was the MD-11. When did I fly that last? I've got 2080, so on my video card, so it's a 3-year-old rig, so I'm trying to massage it for another year or so. Oh my God, Tolus, I get 60s and 70s. That's one of my big reasons I love flying Tolus. All right. I remember reading something that I am supposed to go to different bank angle. But you know what? We're cargo. We don't need to. But yeah, it's a great time. Well, folks, we are. Ooh, get this one dialed out. Let's get on terrain on this side, weather on this side. And let's see how this plays out. I really hate that purple. Flaps are up. Center tank's empty. Let's see how our fuel looks. 73. Close enough. All right, we are set to go, folks. We're showing an hour and some change in the direction we're headed. Hour and 12 minutes. So enjoy the ride, enjoy the conversation in the chat, folks. We are en route, just about to leave his airspace. I hate bouncing up like that when I should have been talking to him on the ground. Oh my gosh, EBLG. And see, this is what here, let me show it. It's a lot easier to explain it when I show it than otherwise. There. You look right here, folks. You may have to zoom in. EDGG 123275. Oh wait, that's EDDF. Never mind. That's not my complaint. One day I came in here and somebody got on my case for not talking to center, and I went, which one? I think it was Munich. Which Munich center? There were 4 of them. Same with EDGG one day. And I'm like, guys, how am I supposed to know which one to talk to? I have no idea which one's which. So I let them get a hold of me, because it's really confusing sometimes up here. Especially if, like in this case, let's just say those were different center frequencies, or better yet, Munich. I come in from, say, I think this is, no, I'm not going to say I think. We come in from over here by whatever this airport is. This way, I would have no idea which frequency, because they don't have any clue of giving you that information. And that's where I have a lot of troubles up here in Europe. And invariably, unfortunately, I do hesitate to get on VATSIM, because I don't have a lot of hair left to pull out, folks. So there. But anyway, last of my complaints. We are on our way. We're almost out of center fuel tank, which is good. And let's push this out to 80. It's not. We'll see how this gets going here in a couple 100 miles as we get closer to the Alps.
Dive!
Uh-oh. Auto brake is asking me to dive. Why am I diving?
Dive!
Why would I want to dive? That's how I do my approaches for landings. Nose straight down. Speed brakes up, flaps full. Then just ease it up at the end. Oh wait, that was the Space Shuttle and Space Cowboys. Never mind. By the way, that maneuver does work. All right, let's see. Oddly, you say that. We had a Bonanza have a gear issue coming into our airport a couple weeks ago. One of the gears were up. Not gonna say much more than that because some of it kind of I don't get the way the world is today in aviation. Might have been different back in the day. May be the same, and I just didn't know it. But yeah. Oh, man. Thankfully, my shift wasn't on that day. But it's a kind of Bonanza I flew once in college. That was one of the V-tail Bonanzas. Ooh. I'll tell you, I had the hardest time flying that plane too because I couldn't get ahead of the plane in my thinking. I was always behind it, so my landings were always, well, they're pretty much like you see on Flying with Mike. Yeah, Bonanza full of doctors. That is such a cool plane. All right, we have reached the cruise altitude, folks. So we're gonna kick up a little bit of music here. Set a decent volume tone here. And cruise on to Rome. Hey, you know, at least I'm not in the Navy, because when you get out in a carrier, there is no such thing as an alternate except for the ocean. At least my landings would look like everyone else, slamming onto the deck. Because you gotta land or you're going in the ocean. All right, center tank, are we empty? We're pretty close to empty, so off you go. Let me see where we are here. I'll get Sim Toolkit down. All right, I'll come online here to be safe. Let's see, it's FDX572, and it's Bravo 738 100. Ooh, so that's one of the V-tailed Bonanzas, 1967. I forget the one Ohio University had. Oh, it was fun to fly. Like I said, I could never get my mind ahead of it so I could make better landings. just couldn't get out in front of it in my thinking, so I could be ready for the next stage. I'm sure it was just a few more hours, but still fun plane to fly. V-tail, oh, that thing was so cool. It is. It is. I've flown Arrows. You know, the Arrow's a nice plane too. I like the Bonanza. One, it's got a bigger engine, so it flies faster. So, but yeah. And the one thing I really didn't know about a Bonanza, if you look at it carefully, folks, what Beechcraft did is, it is the Baron fuselage without the nose. And, well, if you're the V-tail, then obviously they've got a different tail. But the cabin is the same. Then you either single engine or throw a nose on because you got twin engines on the roof. It's a really neat plane. 6 seats, oh. Lucky if you can get all 6 seats filled with luggage, but hey. I just liked having this. I liked the speed of it. Now that's the downfall for me with it too. Not used to that 80 knot approach. See? That's what I mean. Everything's changed since I flew last in the 80s. Didn't know you had to get a rating for complex and high performance. I was doing that just with my private. Watch me be doing it wrong. And I wasn't supposed to be. That wouldn't surprise me. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a lot of check rides with somebody before I get back in the air. Considering the airspace changed, the way they delineated it, what else is coming up? The few things I've noticed from the firehouse looking out at aviation, I pretty much figure I got to go to ground school. And then probably a good 5-10 hours with someone to get me back up and comfortable in the plane again. Like I said, last hours were in 1986. And I don't think they'll count my sim time. And, you know, if they watch the streams, they may not want to. Basically, I had a horrible, I was in the instrument training, not building time, but actually in the instrument training course. One of the intermediate check rides you have to do inside there, I completely, was like I didn't know how to fly again. And that embarrassed the living crap out of me. And then I realized I really can't afford to keep going if I can't do this, so I stopped to reassess as a, what was I at that time, 18, 19, 20-year-old, and decided, you know, let me get in the Air Force and get my life back in order, so maybe I'll be able to, you know, continue on. And it got more and more expensive, and now I can't, for my dream of a commercial pilot. But I'm a commercial pilot in the flight sim. Just ask me, I'll tell you. Yeah. So there were a lot of other factors that went into that botched check ride, and yeah, it happens, folks. I just didn't have anyone there to coach me to get back on the horse and try it again, and it is what it is. And I can't complain at all about life because it's been a blessing after blessing every day. Even though I didn't get to follow out my dream in the real world. So sometimes, like they say, God moves in mysterious ways. Closes that door to open something even better. All right, looking at ATC. Oh my goodness, look at this. Let me just drop down here. What is X-Pilot? Take a look at that list there for centers. Don't even know if there's any approaches up. That's exactly right, Auto Brake, and it's amazing what, just do as you said there at the end, give it all to God, and it's amazing what opens up. The hard part is seeing it, and that's where people fall short. They don't look and miss it. So sometimes it's a good smack in the face for you to see it. Other times it's pretty subtle. And it took a long time to either move me in the direction that I had to go or, you know, whatever. But, you know, I can't look back and say, you know, would I have loved to have been a 747 pilot? Heck yes. But, you know, who knows? Maybe I'd have been one of those unfortunates that had a bad mishap with the plane. Or worse. So, and then the direction he's taken me has been unbelievable. Many days I shake my head going, what? What just unfolded in front of me? So, it's definitely a great ride. And from driving the truck to back in the firehouse and all of that, it's been interesting. And I can also say this, through all of the mountaintops and valleys, come through with the greatest blessings of all, a phenomenal wife with 3 beautiful, great daughters. I mean, can't, I mean, right there, folks, says it all. And I have a job, so, you know, we can squibble if we're, you know, happy there, but it doesn't matter. It serves the purpose to take care of that. There we go. I'm getting the X-plane as running real time. It's not running in real time. Oh, wow. My frame rates are giving it trouble. Let's see what we're doing. At 23, it shouldn't be. Well, you all saw that. Never mind. No, you didn't. Yeah, you would have. I'm sorry. Yeah, it did show up on the screen. So, you know, and I don't get why ZIBO's this way, because well, it's maybe there's more to it. I don't know. I truly think, though, the weather is really inundated with clouds and all today. That's part of the cause. I find that a big thing between cloudy days and dawn, dusk, flying. I have a lot of problems with frame rates and even things with the stream when at those times of the day. So, and throw all of it together within you know, recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for flying with Mike. I can imagine with what you told me you went through there last time, auto break. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Day by day is all we can do. You know, there's I don't know how many out here watch any kind of Christian TV, but there is a show out there called The Chosen. It is a, well, if you all love to binge watch whatever on your favorite streaming channels, this is a season. They're in the third season now of the life of Jesus. And I love watching it. It is amazing to watch that man, Mr. Jenkins' mind and what he puts out on the screen through those actors. Oh, just got through the Sermon on the Mount when he steps out to the stage, and I'm getting ready to see it actually again, told again in the next episode, and continue on from that. So really, and if really, we all know the famous John 3:16. Their portrayal of it in season 1, episode, it's either 6 or 7. Oh my goodness, did it bring even more into it than, because what he does is he puts the scripture there in front of you, but then in his mind fills those gaps in between, the in-betweens that were, you know, what might have happened. That's what he fills in. And it's really a good show. Like I said, I'm getting ready to start the final season. At this point, he's got 3 or 4 more seasons he wants to do. And I am highly impressed with the folks. Go out, it's free. They have the system for paying this is not to go to a theater and hand out your arm, your leg, and your other people's arms and legs to be able to get into the theater. No, we pay it forward. Somebody pays for it for you to be there and watch it on your phone, or cast it to a TV, or if you want to see season 1, go to PureFlix. It's on there. Netflix had it for a while, but I think also only 1 season. It's free, folks, and it is, oh my goodness, unbelievable. And if the name Jenkins doesn't trigger anyone out there, you might have to be as old as I am for it to trigger. There was a series of books that came out, I think in the late 90s, early 90s, into the early 2000s, called Left Behind. His father is behind that. One of them. There were 2. LaHaye and Jenkins. And now his son is putting forth The Chosen. And oh my goodness. And I'm here to tell you, it's going to wake you up. It begins to show you, I always would have loved to find a time machine and go back to see Jesus and where Jesus was, and him teaching and learning and realizing I wouldn't be any different than those that he was teaching. But just would love to see it. But, time machines don't exist, except to the conspiracy theorists. So, highly recommend it, folks. And by the way, I don't get paid to say that. But yeah, if you get, it is just unbelievable. Alright, I am going to take a look here and see where we stand on our time. 48 minutes out. Where are we in reference to top of descent? Okay, let's take a look at the arrival here, folks. I'm going to just leave it in this mode. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the X-Pilot for the moment. And if I remember, it'll come back. We'll go to Sim Toolkit for this. Hopefully this will work. If not, we'll go to charts. Told you how versatile this is for for pilots. Either streamers, it's amazing, but even just for the, like I said, Joe Six-Pack Pilot. You got all of these tools over here, folks, and this is the live map, and you can see all the centers that are up. Frequencies, and believe me, that is just, that's kind of why I stay out of Frankfurt on VATSIM anymore. It's just wow. Same with Munich, up here Brussels. It gets way overloaded. But look at it this way, folks. We in the US, we're like, what is going on? They've gotten home, ate their dinner, and they've sat down like we do here at our prime time hours of TV, and they're online. So we are 47 minutes out, and you can see that at the top. You can also see that here. Now, one of my favorite things, one streamer actually has SimBrief on here. I don't know how to do that one. I'm working on that one. And I know it's here, I just haven't figured it out totally yet. Go to NavGraph. If everything's working right, it is good. Click on our route. And that's exactly what we saw earlier when we did our put the flight plan into the FMC for those that were here. Comes right up in here. Again, all in one box. So Now, some of the neat things you can do with this charts and the standalone charts is I can actually, with this button here, put the approach star on the map as an overlay. So the only thing missing here, it did not pick up our arrival. Get that here real quick. And this is something y'all missed. So hang on, we'll show it to you. Locky is our Lockre is our transition. So all you do is add it to route, poof, it fills it in. In the build up here, folks. It's insane. It is. It's a very big group of people over here in Europe. Just, well, you know, the U.S. will put them to shame in a couple of hours when they get home, before dinner or after dinner. You know, it will explode. And it's the same way if you ever look at some of those Europe or airline charts that show animation of them going across the ocean and flying. Europe lights up. All of a sudden, the North Atlantic tracks are lit up. The U.S. lights up. Europe dies down. The U.S. dies down. Asia comes up. It's really a cool map I used to watch. So that's what you're seeing here. All right, so that's our ILS that we're going to be using. Let's bounce back out to where we are. Okay. We're going to be coming in on the GITOD 2 Fox. So we got to cross GITOD maximum speed, 250 knots. Those of you out there have heard that pretty infamous video of JetBlue and New York approach. The key there was at. Here the word is max. So now we have some room to work with. So 240, 230, so we don't exceed 250. Some thoughts. And we're pretty close in, so we're going to probably, well, no, we don't drop below 10,000 until here. So then we have, so let's get into this chart, shall we? ATIS 122. First off, this is for Rome, Italy. And you're all going, well, that's not Rome. You're right. It's not LIRF. It's the other airport, the midway to Rome. The Love Field to Dallas-Fort Worth. That other airport is what I like to call this. Ciampino or Ciampino or something like that. Sorry, I'm just not very good at other languages and pronouncing them. So we're not coming into LIRF up here. Going over here. So we're going to fly the GITOD 2 Fox. Airport's 421. Stand by. I'm going to real quickly, I'm going to do this real quick so I don't forget. 427. Set it there. All right, so there we go. And all I did is set the altitude, folks. Nothing super, you know, procedure-wise you needed to see. So, directions for this approach. From GITOD, speed 250, direct RA 421, above 10,000 feet, Timber, 230 knots, to RA 406, 210, and above 6,000. To RA 407, again, we're at 210, down to 3,000. Then Lockre at 3,000, 210. All right, and as you can see the visual here, RA 421, Timber, there's R406, Post, and then 407, and Lockre. Lockre is 9.5 mile final. I plan to be really slowed up by then, folks, because speed has been my killer of late on approaches. Okay, from 407 and Lockre beyond the ILS approach. Now, before you all go, oh my goodness, we got to do all of that. No. No. Okay, coming into 407, which is right here. Beyond the localizer to Lockery. And then at 8.3, will be at 3,000 feet. We should be joining the localizer at that, or the glide slope, and descending in at that to our missed approach point. Okay, so it's not as complex as you think. Now, if you approach this airport from, say, this direction, or this direction, then yeah, you're going to fly these procedures. Again, they're not hard, folks. They really are pretty simple. Straight VOR, flying out 12 miles, turn back around to come in on, not the reciprocal, but you know, it's off by 45 degrees-ish. All right, so again, there's our ATIS. These are our frequencies we may tune in. The ILS we will have to tune on this plane is 110.55. And our final approach is 149 degrees. So we'll intercept the localizer on a course of 149 in. There's that distance 8.3 that we talked about here at 3,000 and on glide slope. Now we'll get to the decision altitudes here in a second, and then here's the airport and oh yeah, definitely less ground there. It's less ground in the U.S. Well, I don't know. It's almost 3,000 miles coast to coast. Now, if you throw in Asia, yeah. All right, so there's your missed approach. You should. Oh, somebody wants to talk to me. That. Oh, Northern Road. 127,450. Yeah, I can do that here. One 27450.
Adwa radar, Bonacera, Redmos 3737, level 380, inbound Sothof.
Redmos operation 3737, Milano Ciao identified.
Hang on, folks. Just getting a pen and paper ready. Milano Center, FedEx 572's with you. We're flight level 370.
FedEx 572, Milano Ciao, squawk 1000.
Copy 1000 on the squawk for FedEx 572. No.
Milano Center, Ryanair 3882 with you at flight level 330.
Ryanair 3882, Milano Ciao identified. Break, FedEx 572, identified. Proceed direct EBLG, India Papa Lima Uniform Bravo.
Direct Pueblo for FedEx 811. Correction, FedEx 572. Gotta find that one.
FedEx 572, Milano.
My apologies, my mouse was on another screen. We're direct Pueblo, I think you called it, IB or something like that. I've got it in my list here.
It's India Papa Lima Uniform Bravo, EBLG.
Direct EBLG for FedEx 572. Get used to my old one, and there we go, direct.
Ryanair 3882, you can proceed direct Airbag, India Romeo Bravo Alpha
And
Kilo.
then that'll be
Direct Airbus, Ryanair
come on
382.
at that point. All right. How rude to interrupt our discourse like that. All right. And we don't have much left here, so just bring up the chart real quick and then we'll get ready for descent.
Top Sky 78 Mike, continue descent altitude 4,000 feet, clear ILS runway 12, report established.
Second, where is...
Continue descent 4,000, Top Sky 78 Mike, clear to ILS 12, report established.
Hopefully I don't miss anything. All right.
Ryanair 28
Hopefully that won't be too rough on us, but we're going to basically, like I said, fly into the VOR here and the airport. Here's our vertical, 3,000. Now, one thing when you look at these jump charts, when you see what looks like X marking the spot as a pirate map would show, that's where you have to be on the glide slope. Here is your speeds and what you, if you don't have a glide slope, what you should match. And for our type of aircraft, we're going to be C. So our ceiling is 720 or 379 feet above the ground, and an RVR of 1,000 meters. Okay, expect hiles and reels, pappies. All right, and we're going to go ahead and wrap this up real quick. Oh, I wasn't on the right one.
Correction, wind is 100 degrees 6 knots.
We'll show that real quick so you all see what we got coming up.
Red nose 3737, you're leaving my airspace monitor unit from 122.8. Ciao.
122.8, Red Nose 3737. Buona serata.
All right, let me go ahead and pull all of this away and start
Boston
looking at our
136, continue descent flight level 150.
descent checks.
Continue descent 150, Postman 136.
Oh, we might be switching frequencies here, folks. Hang on, let me find out. Oh no, we'll be on that one. Okay, good. Whew, I hate switching frequencies. That makes things so hard.
Ryanair 538, Milano Ciao, identified, proceed direct Bormi.
Ryanair 538. Center, good evening, KLM
All right.
2019.
I can already hear some people going, what the heck do you have down here? It's actually pretty easy.
2019, Milano Ciao, identified, continuous flight.
You can set this to ILS, to GLS, or to VOR. Our ILS frequency we said was 110.55. Okay, so we're ready to go there. I'm going to go 110.8.
6,000 feet, QNH 1015.
Just in case. My bad. Forgot to switch it. There we go. All right, so we're set if we need to go Cat 2 or 3, but we shouldn't have to. All right, now we are currently over.
Good evening, Lieutenant. This is Walker 3378 with you at flight level 350. We're just at our top, we just set down.
Walker 3378, Milano, ciao.
We're about
Rick Sub 3 Echo
how
arrival
far
to
south?
ILS runway 35 left. Descend flight level 150.
We're clear for the Ritsu 3 Echo.
And I am going to go ahead and kind of get a little quiet here so I can listen.
Level 150 for Walker 327.
Milano, buonasera, ritardo 416, parking 7 Indianapolis, requesting clearance to Frankfurt.
Padova radar, good evening, with 33 Yankee November, flight 380.
With their 33 Yankee November, Milano, ciao, identified fly direct van through and climb flight level 390.
Okay, so we got
Flight
122
level
miles
390 with
to
33
top
Yankee
of
November.
descent.
And 33 Yankee November, fly direct van to Victor Alpha Mike Tango Uniform.
We're right now
Direct
flying
to
over a
Victor
SIG.
Alpha Mike Tango Uniform with 33 Yankee November.
All right, let's see, my airport,
Correction,
1016.
Itaro 416, can you please check your flight plan? Abesi, since that Abesi is not an exit point for Linate anymore.
Okay, we'll fix it, Itaro 416.
Milano radar, good day, Eurowings 81 Papa Bravo, flight level 360, inbound Abesi.
Eurowings 81 Papa Bravo, Milano, ciao, identified, continue direct Abesi.
Continuing direct Abesi, Eurowings 81 Papa Bravo.
Postman 136, continue descent flight level 110.
Continue descent 110, Postman 136.
Red Nose 4363, contact Roma 124.2. Red Nose 4363, Milano. Top Sky 78 Mike, welcome to Bologna, taxi to stand of your choice.
Stand of my choice, Top Sky 78 Mike.
All right, ATIS, we do that.
Red Nose 4363, Milano. Austrian 254, contact Vienna 132.6, ciao.
132.6 Austrian 254, ciao.
It's okay now, the new flight plan for Itaro 416.
Itaro 416, I still see the old one. Can you just disconnect and reconnect?
All right, folks, we are direct, here, let me pull up some toolkit so you can
Itaro 416, now it's fine. You're clear to your
Right there,
destination
that's where
via
we're
PEPAG
direct.
1 Alpha
then we'll start in on the arrival. The arrival starts
Initially
here.
6,000, spoke 5402.
So, and that'll get us pretty much on that straight line to GITOD.
To Frankfurt, PEPAG 1 Alpha departure, out of runway 35, initial climb 36, initial climb 6,000, squawk 5402, Itaro 416.
Tower 416, readback is correct.
Milano, ciao, Itarro 72 Golf Lima, radio check.
Tower 72 Golf Lima, radio fired.
No, Itarro 72 Golf Lima, stand 0 the Airbus 1820, West Africans to Schiphol.
Tower 72 Golf Lima, standby, break, postman 136, continue descent altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 1014. Postman 136, Milano.
136, sorry, go ahead.
136, please descend altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 1014.
Delta 6000, QNH 1014, Postman 136.
Red Nose 4363, Milano.
I always get nervous when I hear them repeating and nobody.
FedEx 572, contact Roma 124.2.
124.2 for FedEx 572, thanks.
Ryanair 28 Juliet X.
Guitar 125, descend flight level 110.
Send to flight level 110, Victoria 125.
Transavia 2708.
Uniform ready for push straight up.
Via Bravo Alfa, Lima dalla presente lascia inbound Argentiera che manterrà per 5 primi.
Ricevuto. Transavia 2708.
Roma Center, FedEx 572 with you, flight level 370 for LIRA.
Good evening, FedEx 572, radar contact, expect GITOD to Foxtrot arrival, ILS 15.
Okay, expect GITOD 2 Fox for the 15 ILS Yankee.
Red Nose 4363.
It's 463.
Red Nose 4363.
Roma, Hotel Golf Delta, finale 20 tacevo.
Ricevuto. Hotel Golf Delta.
Voltia 24, Romeo uniform, you're ready for push straight up.
Ready approved. Call ready for taxi.
Push straight up first. The Voltia 24, Romeo uniform.
Airwings 33 November, descend flight level 130.
Descend flight level 130, Airwings 33 November.
Roma Hotel Golf Delta, riattacca, prossima volta potreste autorizzarmi che se mi approvi del touch and go non posso atterrare.
Purtroppo ho tanto traffico IFR, per cui comunque è sempre autorizzato. È autorizzato, quindi...
Tranquillo, adesso plura.
Wow, this is when it...
Good day, Scatter 2708, Delta 290 inbound, Erika with you.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and kill the music, folks, just to make sure I hear everything, because the accents and all here are getting a little tough for me.
708, that's Erika with you, inbound, Eric, inbound, Tango Echo Alpha 290.
Good evening to you, Sky Travel 2708, radar contact. Expect standard arrival, Suta 1 Quebec, ILS runway 08.
Look to 1 Quebec and ILS 08, 2708.
Hotel Bravo Kilo Golf Delta, sinistro 20 se possibile, si inserisce in cielo campo per un successivo circuito, un successivo sottovento destro, pista 20 85.
Approvato. Volotea 6 Foxtrot uniform. You are leaving my space, monitor Unicom 1228, bye-bye.
1228, bye-bye, you will have 6 Foxtrot Unicom. Rome Control, Ryanair 3882 with you at flight level 330.
Good evening, Ryanair 3882, radar contact. Expect ILS runway 13 in Luca.
Expect ILS 13, Ryanair 3882.
Okay. Top of descent coming up 40 miles out. A little different annotation here as you would expect.
Good evening to you, radar
It's
contact.
this circle right here,
Valma 3
folks.
Alpha arrival. Sorry, Esino 3 Alpha arrival, ILS Whiskey 16 left.
Esino 3 Alpha, ILS Whiskey 16 left. Miguel 69.
And this will give me just the right amount of time.
Papa Kilo, monitor Unicom 1228, bye-bye.
You can initiate the descent if he tells me to now by right here, or
Roma, Hotel Bravo Kilo Golf Delta,
from the legs, I'm sorry,
cambia le intenzioni, sarà un
from
passaggio
the
basso
VDAC
a
page,
100 piedi, pista 20.
or depending which aircraft you have, folks, because we've actually seen it with different. Get to the descent page.
Non conosco questo.
Guarda, sono
now.
in prossimità della pista.
Anch'io in VFR.
Guardi, sono in prossimità della pista, Hotel Golf Delta.
Ah, chiave bassa significa in prossimità della pista. Bene. Allora, Hotel Golf Delta, condizioni meteo non sono variate. Il vento calmo,
And we'll set,
con neanche sempre uno
let's come over
014.
here, we'll
È autorizzato.
Conferma autorizzato al passaggio basso 100 piedi, Hotel Bravo Kilo Golf Delta.
Affermativo.
Autorizzato low pass 100 piedi, Hotel Bravo Kilo Golf Delta.
Lufthansa 2 Tango Romeo, ready for push.
206.
Lufthansa 2 Tango Romeo, ready approved, call ready for taxi.
16.
Would you like me facing east or west?
Facing north.
Love when they do that.
Ranger, facing
I
north,
didn't say
Lufthansa
that.
2 Tango Romeo.
Do you want me Easter? And estimated landing.
Roma Indiana Lima Lima sull'Argentiera 2000 piedi sull'1014, perso il contatto col campo per un Q di Mike.
Uh-oh.
India Bravo Alfa Lima Lima, mi conferma che richiede un Q di Mike?
Attiva India Bravo Alfa Lima Lima sull'Argentina 2000 sull'1014, perso il contatto col capo per un Q di Mike, se possibile.
Benissimo, a metta 030.
Zero quantifier, questo stand by.
0 India Bravo Alfa Lima Lima.
Guitar 125, descend flight level 110.
And flight level 110.
Roma, l'Italian Air Force 464, we request taxi.
44664, taxiing Golden Point Golf via Tango Sierra.
Tango Sierra Holding Point Golf, Italian Air Force 4664. E comunque per informazione lì chiave alta, chiave bassa è una manovra simulata di emergenza. E sarebbero una
Okay,
sopra il campo
so we got all the information in here. We go there.
per poi riportarti in pista.
Auto brakes are going to leave us not a lot of runway, so we got to be real careful on that.
Running your uniform, we are ready for taxi.
Abbracca l'Italia 1019er, monitor Unicom
Okay,
1228.
so 149.
1228, l'Italia 1019, grazie, buona serata.
Volotea,
I'm going to drop
Volotea
this to
24,
40.
uniform via Alpha Holding Point 08.
Taxi Alpha.
There we go. We're going to have to go 40 today, folks.
Guitar 125, descent flight level 90.
Send to flight level 90.
There we go.
125.
Gives us a little bit more.
Rider 60 whiskey.
I'm going to have to get in here and say, I need to get down.
Ciao, good evening, Ryanair 6 Whiskey Delta, radar contact, climb flight level 310 initially.
Initially 310 for Ryder 6 whiskey Delta.
And Ryanair 6 Whiskey Delta, report passing flight level 390 for Eiger.
Can you repeat the last for Ryder 6 whiskey Delta?
Report passing flight level 90 for Eiger.
Report passing 90 Ryder 6 whiskey Delta.
Roma, Hotel Bravo Kilo del Delta, sinistro 20, se possibile si inserisce in in cielo campo per un sottovento sinistro, pista 02, touch and go.
Scusami, sto dando l'istruzione a un traffico, Eurowings 33 November, descent, flight level 110.
Lufthansa 2 Tango Romeo, ready for taxi.
Lufthansa 2 Tango Romeo, holding point 25, via November Golf, November and Bravo.
Holding point 25, yeah, November Golf, November Bravo, Lufthansa 2 Tango Romeo. Roma, buonasera.
Roma, Hotel Bravo Kilo del Delta, sottovento sinistro, pista 20,
Okay,
se
I'm to the
possibile
point
si inserisce in
where
cielo campo
to
per un
disconnect.
sottovento sinistro, pista 02 e un 0, touch and go.
Approvato.
Roma India Bravo Alfa Lima Lima col campo in vista, se possibile per un inserimento in cielo campo per un...
Okay, we're disconnecting, starting our descent. I can't get a word in edgewise. He won't come back to me. We're coming down. I'm not going to try to fight that traffic. That is one of my little peeves with VATSIM, but we'll get by it. Just disconnect. We'll enjoy the flight anyway. Let's go ahead, get down to 10,000 as quickly as we can. Let me see how we're doing here. It's a shame sometimes it comes to that, but you know, hey folks. So you don't have to... Whoa. What did I do? Oh man, I put the wrong chart up. There we go. So, to save nerves, folks, sometimes the best thing is just disconnect. Because I don't want to do a hold. Alright, so down we go, folks. Okay, and there's GITOD right there. Yeah, he's overloaded. And I got a feeling it's gonna get worse there. Okay, so I hope y'all are enjoying. You know, one thing I haven't mentioned at all today, if you're liking what you're hearing, you like the content, hey, smash that follow if you haven't already, folks. We'd love to have you on our next flight. Can't guarantee one tomorrow because not 100% sure what tomorrow will bring, being a Saturday. And there is an air show in town, but I'm just not feeling it this year. And it's sad because it's been several years since we've had one here. Compliments of that C word, COVID. You all thought I was going somewhere else. Get your minds out of the gutter. But we are we don't know what what kind of flight schedule we'll have, so we'll see what comes tomorrow. But for now, folks, we are getting ready to come into the other airport in Rome, Ciampino, LIRA, and we got a short runway, if you didn't realize. I didn't realize till right now. Real quick, it is 7,200 feet, folks. Oh well, we'll make it some way, somehow. Again, so you know what's on the radar displays: terrain, weather. Weather ain't showing too much over here, but it is what it is. So let's go through our descent checks now. All right, we're through 26,000. Let me close this off, see how close we are. Okay, we need to get under 250. So that means speed brakes. And we are fast, but we are not on centers, so we are good. If this was real world, I don't know what we'd be charged with. I don't know how much the fine for the speeding ticket here is. Tibber is our next speed element here. Actually, let me do this. Do that. All right, and that's 230. So let's just keep slowing down, keep our descent going. It's at or above 10,000 at 421, but I want to be close to it. So that's why I'm kind of racing down, because we got held up. And that happens in the real world, folks, you know. Sometimes we do steeper than normal descents than we feel we want to do. We do what we have to. If we can't, we tell them we can't. Guess what? 360. Usually solves a lot. All right, so speed brakes off. All right, going through the checks. Descent altitude set, engines to continues. Seatbelts at 15,000. I'm going to do it now. If I haven't turned them off to start with. Okay. Haven't done any announcements to date, so we're speeding up again. Okay, I'm going to set for our 406 6,000. Okay. Transition level here, folks, is 11,000, so I'm not overly concerned yet on that. I am going to get our wing lights on. And we're speeding up again, so a little bit more brake action. Okay. Landing lights at 10,000. Seatbelts are on. You know what? Let's go ahead and do an announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the flight deck here, we're on our descent. Seatbelts on. Go for our rattle. If you're up and about, please to return your seats past your seatbelts. Still showing well ahead of schedule. Thanks again. So hope you have a nice week. Have you on the camera here very shortly.
Well, we're going to make just above 10,000 by there, so we're actually getting into profile now. It'll be more apparent when this is here and these numbers get more to the center. These are your differentials from the optimal glide. So we're getting pretty close. Keep her up at this hard pace. Let me see if I can't back these off a little. And now we need to go for 230. All right, so we are past transition. Now, I preset that here, folks. You can't do that in Airbus very easily. So that's a neat, that's one thing that I do like about Boeing over Airbus. If they could incorporate that, that would be awesome. Okay. Next up is 210, so let me pop the brakes again, and we're going to start bringing her down to 210. All right. And now, another way to know if you're on profile is where is this line at? That's our 6,000 foot mark, but we're going to be continuing on down to 3,000. So we're actually pretty close to being on profile.
Thousand to go.
Okay, we're coming up, and then we need to get down to 3 next. Alright folks, there we go. We are getting very close to the final approach. Hope you're enjoying. Again, smash that follow button if you are. Love to have you on our next flight. But currently we are trying to get this bird to slow down. So when we come around, get the ILS available here, we can click in and take it. Till we see the runway, then we'll decide from there. All right, we'll do the last announcement.
Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for landing.
I know we're doing a lot of views from here, but we can be above 3,000 crossing this point, by the way, folks. Okay, we do not have the localizer. Are we even on yet? No. Okay. Localizer shows available. Glide slope 2. Where's approach? Alright, here we come into the city, folks. at Lockery, we can start slowing down. Not sure if that's our runway right there or if it's past. We'll find out here eventually. Flaps 10. Let me get back to my... Okay. Oh, there's the runway out here. Okay. All right, Ciampino traffic, FedEx 572. We are a 6 mile final, 1-5. All flaps.
Feet stabilized, Mr. Birch altitude set.
All right, let's see if we can get on our game here, folks. Okay.
Approaching minimums. Minimum.
Okay, we're stable landing.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
I'll be totally honest with you folks, I don't know where the terminal is. Pretty sure it's on the other side. Got a little bit of a way to go. Alright, we'll get off at the end. Welcome in, folks. I did not look at the landing rate as my norm. One, because I'm looking at the chart to figure out how to get where I need to go. But I'm going to tell you something. For a second there, I was going to smash it hard. And it felt like it touched down pretty decent. Felt like it. Alright, so we're taxiing back, getting the APU on. Let's get the auto brakes off. Whoops. Sure, they're up. Flaps are up. TARA. Alright, where do the cargo planes park here? I see FedEx up here as a static. I'm going to check this out. Wait a minute. It's the... I think we're going to go on north of the, see how these spots look. And those look capable. You know what? We'll just go in here. Alright, so here we go, folks, into our stand. Don't know if I'm accurate or not. Brake set. Okay, let me finish this up real quick. Okay, APU. Let's see, flaps, probe heats. Probe heats off. APU's running, going to the generator. We need to see 4 units. Heck, we're already there. All right. Weather radar's off. Parking brake set. Bleed on. Okay, transponder is standby. Exterior lights off. Fuel pumps. Actually, you know what? We'll leave those going for now. Window heaters are good. Anti-ice, electric pumps, we're all good. We're set. We're done. Hello, welcome to Rome, folks. All right, that was a great flight, folks. That really was. Great fight, great talk there in the chat. Great time all around. Hope you all enjoyed. Again, for the new folks, hey, hit follow. We'd love to have you come along. Love having these kind of flights. So I know our next scheduled run, and yeah, I'm delaying it to see what our landing rate was, but hang on a second. We are looking at, I believe, Monday. Not the 8th. That was my mother's birthday a few days ago. We're looking at another ZIBO run on Monday, so you all should enjoy that over in the States. All right, so let's look. Yes, I have postponed it long enough. Sim toolkit. And look at, oh my goodness, 14. Oh, I should have been on. Oh, well, you know, can't cry over spilt milk for not starting the ACARS program. And if I see it down in the toolbar, I'm going to be mad. Anyway, oh well. There you go, folks. A great flight. Let's take a look at it here. Let me finish it here. All right, LIRA, the other Rome airport. View the details. Went 600 miles there, folks, in just under 2 hours. Oh, and this part, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to hit the mark. So, I mean, folks, this was a phenomenal flight. Thank you for being a part. So here we go. Let's look at the metrics here, the numbers. Just about dead on for the heading. 14 feet a minute is dead on for a landing. 1G. Speed 132, which is right about VREF, folks. So that's pretty good. And little quick aviation class for those new to it. The runway, when you're landing on a runway with ILS or precision type approaches, have a good night there, Inswick. Thanks for the support and being a part of the channel today. We sure appreciate you. Have a great night up there. Enjoy your weekend. Okay, so where that blue dot is, folks, there's actually a white line usually across the runway. That's called the threshold. Not the numbers. You could get away with these stripes. They're called threshold stripes. But anyway, the actual threshold is where you're supposed to, from that point on down the runway in front of you, that's where you're supposed to land. Unless, of course, you're a helicopter and like me, flying it backwards. But anyway, from here, you're going to see some what look like hash marks in a big set. We'll get back to the big set here. But these hashes are approximately 500 feet down the runway. Now, why they don't go so far down this one is right there. It's only 7,200 feet. Now, usually you'll get another set out of it. I'll give it that. But not, you know, you're in Europe, folks. When in Rome, do as or anyway. We are in Rome. But anyway, having way too much fun. So that lets you know how far down the runway you're touching down. So your landing zone starts at this blue dot, ends technically right here, but you can see, look where all the dark, heavy rubber deposits are. That's where most people touch down, but not to say they don't come down here. But that's your general indication you've landed in what this airport authority says they want as the landing zone. No gigs or punches or fines if you're outside of it. However, okay, what you see on the approach end is also on, in this case, your departure end. So if you start seeing these marks, look, you get 500 feet between each one. If you see this one and you're still cooking at 100 knots, you might want to sync up that seatbelt just a little. You're going off the end. All right, you saw those big pads, both this end and the other. This is the visual, what we look at as pilots for where we want to touch down. That's our safe area. We're 1,000 feet usually in, maybe more, maybe less, depending on your runway. But that is your landings where you want to put it, aiming point. Here shows us just behind it. I actually thought we were just ahead. We're going to hope to be able to see this. All right, again, 500 feet. So you only get about 2,000 feet worth of landing zone here. Overall, great airport, great run. I'm ready to tackle Sao Paulo again. Not the the new one, but go back to the other Sao Paulo airport. All right. So let's get rid of Sim Toolkit. So again, thanks for being a part, folks. Let's see what we'll be able to do. Let me check. Okay, I don't see chocks or anything. Here we go. Oh, we're halfway there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think we're gonna crash the desktop. Let's be patient. Who knows? Maybe it'll catch up with itself and say, nope, we're going to go ahead and fly. Nah, it looks like we're going down. All right, folks, let me get ready with the screen here just in case. And yeah, it looks like she's going to crash the desktop. Well, let me do that for the moment. Folks, again, thank you for flying with Mike. Always stinks when we end up crashing the desktop when we do the try to do the replay. This is a new version, 5. It's not the one that X-Plane would put out there if you're not ticked off for the, and I don't mean that you're mad at them, that you have checked to get the betas. This would be, they're trying to see if this version is good enough for everyone to have. And if they got to make changes, there'll be another one. They don't have to make changes on that one, then the third release you get. So that's why I wasn't getting it, folks. So, and yeah, she's taken forever and a day. We try something. I'm just going to try getting rid of some stuff here, knowing that it's not helping. Nope, not helping. So let's see if I can't help it along. All right, folks. Well, we're going to go ahead then and, oh, where's my mouse? Hello, mouse. All right. So, folks, again, like I said, great time. I enjoyed it 100%. If I had one small little problem, way too much going on for one controller in Rome. But, you know, we did, I think, the right thing, disconnected. We enjoyed the ride in. Would have been great with the controller, I think. Who knows? Maybe it would have been worse. Who knows? But we had a great time, awesome time. And, you know, folks, it really has been a great time. Auto Break, again, welcome. Thank you so much for your support and being here. And the rest of you that are out there in the chat that I just actually accidentally, why did I do that? Hang on a second. Can I get back to that? Give me a second. Let me get back to that. Yours truly was kind of silly. Wishing you the best, though, Auto Break, in the recovery. Let's see who else we have out here. Inswick is on his way. Jet Pilot, welcome aboard. And I hope you all enjoyed. Folks, we're going to wrap it up. We'll get some music going, and hope you all enjoy. I'm going to see if there's someone we can toss this stream over to and go from there. Let me pull some toolkit down. There we go. Let's just real quick take a look at that, shall we? All right, well, let me get the music going and we'll take a look and see who's out there. So, folks, I hope you have a great weekend. God bless you all for being a part. See you Monday for sure. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow. God bless. Bye.